I spent 20 years on Wall Street watching billionaires build wealth, and it can start with just $25 a week. If you're poor, you're in debt, and you think it's impossible, this is the real roadmap that actually works. I was talking with a young real estate agent here in Dubai. He makes decent money, but after rent, utilities, groceries, car payments, and going out, the dude has nothing left. And when he does manage to invest a little, he picks a stock off of Reddit, it goes down, and he gives up. See, that's how most people live. Decent income, zero progress, stuck on that hamster wheel and unable to get off. The first thing I told him is this: you don't need thousands to start investing. You need discipline and consistency. Even $25 a week. I mean, that's lunch money in most cities, but done right, it's enough to plant that seed. In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 steps that'll put you on the right path to get that financial freedom. Ready? Step 1, create capital. Step 1's simple. I mean, you can't invest what you don't have, right? So you need to find a way to carve out money every single week. Not every month, but every week. If you wait to the end of the month, your life's just gonna eat it up. Rent, Amazon, takeout, drinks, kids, whatever. You flip the order. You take $25, $50, or $100 a week and you transfer it into your savings or your investment account before you even have a chance to spend it. Pretend it's a bill you can't skip. As Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, famously said, pay yourself first. Listen, I get that it can be tough living paycheck to paycheck, but there might be ways you can find that money. Maybe go through your subscriptions and cancel or downgrade anything you don't need. Cook more of your own meals at home or skip that occasional night out. Like I said, it doesn't have to be much. Even just that $25 is better than nothing. And here's the trick. You're not buying wealth with that $25. You're buying your time in the market. It's like losing weight. You have to get into the gym or you have to run your first step to start. Warren Buffett has said it for decades. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. The earlier you start, the more your compounding does the heavy lifting. Step 2, understand the game. The next step is about changing the way you think about earning money. When you go to work, you trade your time and your effort for money. The second you stop showing up, that money stops. See, that's called active income. And unfortunately, if that is your only stream of income, you'll never get rich. The wealthy do not get rich from salaries. They get rich because their money is working while they sleep. And that is called passive income. Investments that spin off more money without them lifting a finger. So the game is simple. You need 2 streams of income running in parallel. You need your active income, which is your job. That's your career. That's your grind. This is what you do for your salary. Push to grow it. Get those raises. Build your skills. Land more leads and switch jobs if needed. Passive income is the money that you invest in quietly grows and eventually pays you real cash flow. Real estate is another great way to build yield or passive income from renting to your tenants. But this isn't a cheap thing to start off with because you have to buy a property, right? You can look at other ways. You can open yourself a brokerage account. I mean, Robinhood takes like 7 minutes to sign up. It's that easy. Once you have a brokerage account, you look at buying high dividend paying ETFs like SCHD, which is the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF yielding about 3.6 to 3.8%. These companies must have about 10 years of consistent dividends and strong fundamentals. Look at HDV, which is the iShare Core High Dividend ETF that yields about 4%. It's focusing more on healthcare, energy, and consumer staples. Or you could get a little bit riskier and look at IDV, which is the iShares International Select Dividend ETF, and that yields about 6 to 7%. It's focusing more on international companies with consistent dividend history. Remember, the higher yield you get, the riskier it is to invest in, so make sure you do your research. Now guys, in the beginning, it's going to feel pointless. You invest $100, maybe make $10 in a year, but don't forget, that's 10%. I get it. That still feels like nothing, right? But zoom out a bit. 10% on $100,000, that's a stack. That's 10K. That's $10,000. 10% on $1 million, that's $100,000. Same return, just completely different outcome. You don't get that million without planting that seed early. You will get there. Hey, do me a favor as I'm trying to grow this community out. Hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate your support. And now on to step 3. Step 3, where to invest. So where do you put your money? This is where most people blow it. They chase hot tips, random cryptos, penny stock. And the truth is, most people should not be picking individual stocks. It takes a lot of research, even more discipline, know-how, and luck. I mentioned this in step 1, but the simple answer here is just ETFs or exchange traded funds. I did an entire Harry Potter themed video on this exact topic. I know. That was like kind of in my experimenting phase of this whole YouTube journey that I'm on. But anyway, check it out after this video. But here's the deal. Essentially, an ETF is a basket of stocks that spreads out all of your single stock risk as opposed to just buying one specific company. Right? The S&P 500 is a basket of the 500 biggest US companies. You don't have to guess who wins or who loses. You own them all. One goes bust, it just gets replaced. Yeah, your financials may take a hit, but they're not going to go to zero. For instance, even with the S&P, a great way to play this is through ETFs. Like for S&P, I like VOO, VOO, or SPY. I think they're the simplest ways to play it. One share, even one fractional share, gives you exposure to the giants of American business. It's a great place to start. Now, the finance guy in me has to say this. I'm not telling you what to buy in this video. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm telling you how the game is played with what options you can take. I'm trying to give you the seed. Your job is to get educated, water it, pick the tool that matches your risk profile, and start and watch your investments bloom from there. I'm just trying to help you along the way. And remember, I'm not talking about just stocks here. This could be real estate, index funds, even small side businesses all count as investments if they throw off cash flow, as in do they generate income for you? Step 4, cash flow versus paper gains. Your investment wealth typically grows in 2 ways. One, your stuff goes up in price through appreciation. Say your portfolio goes to $200K off of the $100,000 you initially invested. See, that's a nice 100% return right there on paper. We call that a paper profit, as you have to sell it in order to actually get that money. 2, your stuff pays you to own it. It can be multiple types of assets, but typically this is through rent checks, dividends, distributions. That's cash you can use today as soon as it gets clocked in. Now, personally, I tend to focus on the second one, which is the cash flow. Why? Because I don't want to sell the golden goose just to eat. Yes, you get 100% profit, right? But who's to say it doesn't continue to go with momentum and get up to another 300%? If I have a stock or a property that's kicking off cash to me and I sell it, yes, I get that money, which is great, but I also lose that income generating stream in terms of passive income. When the real estate investment pays me every month, I can use that money for other things like a down payment on another property. When the dividend funds I owe pay me each quarter, I can either take that income and use it, or I can reinvest those dividends back into the stock or ETF that is paying those dividends. Now, my thought process is this, okay? Use your active income to buy assets, then let those assets throw off enough cash to help cover your life, your bills, and needs. And you can also be investing into other assets. To me, price growth is the cherry and the sprinkles on the sundae. Cash flow is the ice cream. Step 5, the decade of sacrifice. Here's the part that nobody wants to hear. The first decade feels like a massive grind. You're going to be cutting expensive, investing small amounts, seeing tiny returns, and you'll think, man, this shit ain't working. I'd rather have a Rolex. But that is the price of entry. It is a decade of sacrifice. You live smaller, you earn more, and you shovel every spare dollar into investments. That compounding will feel slow. Then it'll start to feel a little bit more steady, and then it'll start exploding. And that's when the real wealth shows up and your options start to really appear. And I'm serious here. You can absolutely do this. This is possible. Now, if you're poor, the roadmap is not glamorous. It's not fast, but let me tell you, this works. This works. I promise you this works. Just go through the 5 steps. Step 1, carve out money weekly, even if it's just $25. Step 2, learn the game. Teach yourself. Step 3 is put your money to work in investments that can grow for you, whether active, passive, ideally both. And step 4 is repeat over and over. Go bigger when you can. Keep investing and reinvesting the capital that you're getting that you don't immediately need. Step 5, you have to be prepared to put the time in. It takes discipline, but again, you got this. Stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect stop. Just start. Every week you wait is a week you fall behind. All right? I spent 2 decades watching billionaires move money like chess pieces. The truth is, the same rules apply to you. It just starts smaller and that's fine. It still works. Get started today and let that compounding do what compounding does best. That is the tried and true real way to get rich. And if you're poor, it ain't the lotto or some dodgy altcoin. I'm just telling you. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm Seth Moran. If you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button to see more of my content, where the aim is to take that fear out of investing one video at a time. Make sure you leave a comment below. I'll answer everything. Remember, kindness is the rent we pay on earth, so do something nice for someone, and I'll see you in the next one.